The battlefield is silent before the trumpet sounds. Shadows stretch across the valley, and every heart asks the same question. Who will endure when the test comes? Faith is not proven in daylight crowds, but in midnight watches, when the walls tremble and no answer seems near. The watchman knows this. He stands alone on the wall, eyes fixed on the horizon, waiting for a dawn he cannot yet see. So it is with you. Faith that wins is faith that holds the line when every other voice has fallen silent. Do not despise the wilderness path, for there the Lord taught his people to walk. 40 years he led them, not by sword, not by bread stored in barns, but by manna that vanished with the sun. Faith was their only supply. So it will be with you. Your strength will not be drawn from what you keep, but from what you cannot see. This is the furnace of trust, and trust is the forge of victory. Job knew this furnace well. Ashes clung to him, sores covered his skin, yet he declared, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." Joseph felt its weight in prison, betrayed and forgotten, yet chains could not bind his faith. The pit did not break him, it prepared him for the throne. David wandered in caves, hunted by Saul, yet sang psalms by candlelight in Adullam. Faith that sings in the cave is faith that wins in the palace, and the word speaks still. He that endureth to the end shall be saved. Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. Lift your eyes. The fig tree that looks barren will bloom again. The dry bones of Ezekiel's valley will rattle, rise and breathe. The river that seems gone will cut the desert with living water. The scarlet stain can yet be made white as snow. This is the covenant. The Lord restores, the Lord multiplies, the Lord gives back double. But I ask you now, as the gauntlet is thrown, if the Lord called you to stand today, stripped of every comfort, would you stand or break? Answer not with words, but with marrow. This is the first strike. Faith that cannot stand when tested will not stand at all. So take up the armor of God, the belt of truth girded, the breastplate of righteousness fastened, the shield of faith lifted, quenching every flaming arrow, the helmet of salvation set firm, the sword of the Spirit unsheathed, sharper than fire. Above you flies the banner of Jehovah Nissi, the Lord your victory. Faith that arms itself is faith that wins. Even now hear Gethsemane, the olive crushed until oil flows, the sun sweating blood beneath the trees, whispering, "Not my will, but yours." There, before cross and tomb, faith won the battle first. Faith that surrenders is faith that wins. The march is long, and the dust clings to your skin like shame. You remember what was taken. The face is gone, the promises shattered, the dreams buried. Yet the Lord has not led you into wilderness to leave you there. By fire he led Israel through the night. By cloud he shaded them in the heat of day. That same fire walks beside you still. That same cloud covers you now. Do not despise the silence of the cave. David hid in Adullam, hunted and ragged, yet he lifted psalms into the dark. Elijah fled to Horeb, despairing unto death. Yet the Lord met him not in the earthquake nor the fire, but in the whisper. Your silence is not abandonment. It is the forge where your faith is hammered against anvil until no weakness remains. Faith that listens in silence is faith that wins in battle. Do not envy Babylon when their towers glitter. Their stones will crack and fall like Babel before them. Do not envy Egypt when their idols shine with gold. Their chariots will drown when the waters fold back in judgment. Lift your eyes instead to Zion, city whose builder is God. Its gates are pearl, its lamp is the Lamb. Your inheritance is not fragile. Your crown is not laurel that withers, but a crown of life eternal. Yet I halt the march and fix my gaze on you. What sin, what chain still binds your sword arm from striking? Name it, for the chain you protect will shatter you when the battle comes. No man carries both idol and cross. No soldier marches with armor and fetters. This is the second strike. Let it cut to the bone. Faith that breaks its chains is faith that wins. Look to Ezekiel's valley of bones. Skulls bleached by silence, dust piled in heaps. The Lord asked, "Son of man, can these bones live?" And when the word went forth, the bones rattled, sinew wrapped, breath filled, and an army rose where ruin lay. So it shall be with you. What you thought buried, what you thought past redemption, will rise again when the Spirit breathes. Faith that believes in resurrection is faith that wins. Chains fall when praise rises. Paul and Silas, bruised and bloodied, sang hymns in prison. The earth shook. Doors burst open, not by key, but by thunder. So lift your voice though your ribs ache with grief. Lift your voice though the night has no stars. Praise is the hammer that splits the stone. Prayer is the fire that melts the iron. Faith that sings in chains is faith that wins in freedom. The altar still burns. The torn veil still hangs. The tomb is still empty. Remember the covenant sealed in blood, not your own. You are not forsaken. The shepherd still walks with rod and staff. Even in the valley of shadow, he prepares a table for you. Even in the wilderness, he rains manna you did not earn. This path is narrow, but it is holy. This cross is heavy, but it is life. This loss is sharp, but it is not the last word. For graves do not stay sealed. Fields do not remain barren. Warriors do not remain broken. When the fire has done its work, when the chains are ash, when the bones stand again, then comes the promise. And the promise is double. Faith that endures the fire is faith that wins. The mountain rises before you, steep and merciless. Its stones cut your feet, its winds claw your face. But recall Sinai, wrapped in thunder and smoke, trembling at the voice of God. Recall Carmel, where fire fell and consumed the drenched altar in a single breath. The mountain is not your enemy. It is the meeting place. It is where flesh breaks and spirit listens. Faith that climbs the mountain is faith that wins. You climb with scars as your companions, but scars are not shame. They are your testimony, carved into skin by fire and trial. The enemy points at your wounds and sneers, "You are finished." But the Lamb of God shows his pierced hands and declares, "It is accomplished." Every scar is seed. Every bruise is prophecy. Every tear is counted in the chalice of the Lord, and none are wasted. Faith that treasures its scars is faith that wins the crown. Pause here, pilgrim. The march halts. Silence falls upon the watch. Ask yourself with naked soul, when the trumpet sounds and the gates close, will your name be found among the faithful or the fallen? Do not answer with presumption. Answer with trembling. This is the final strike, the cut that lingers. It follows you beyond echo, into the silence where obedience alone speaks. Faith that answers in stillness is faith that wins in glory. The enemy mocks. He mocked Nehemiah's wall, saying a fox could topple it. He mocked David, sneering at his sling and stones. He mocked Christ at the cross, daring him to descend. But the wall stood, stone upon stone, until Jerusalem was fortified. The sling shattered the giant's skull. The cross broke not the sun, but the chains of hell. The laughter of the enemy is always the drumbeat of his fall. Lift your eyes higher. See the heavens torn open as at Jordan when the Spirit descended. See Christ walking among the lampstands, his face shining like the sun. See the white stone with a new name given to the faithful. See the crystal river flowing from the throne, and the new Jerusalem radiant as a bride. This is your inheritance, not ashes, not ruin, not endless night, but double portion. For every tear, joy. For every loss, restoration. For every grave, resurrection. Faith that fixes its gaze on eternity is faith that wins. You are the prodigal, yet the Father runs still. You are the broken vessel, yet the potter remakes you with his own hands. You are the watchman at midnight, weary but steadfast, awaiting the dawn. You are the anointed warrior, consecrated by fire, sharpened for the field. And now, the summit nears. The air grows thin, yet the Spirit gives breath. The weight grows heavy, yet the cross lends strength. Do not falter, do not turn back. For just beyond the ridge waits the blessing, pressed down, shaken together, running over, poured without measure. Faith that endures the climb is faith that wins the crown. The summit opens before you. The storm you feared lies broken behind, and the horizon burns with holy fire. Here, where wilderness ends and promise begins, the voice of the Lord thunders. Faith that suffers yet endures is faith that wins. Lift your head, warrior. You are not defined by what was stolen, but by who restores. You are not measured by the graves behind, but by the throne before. The Lord who split the Red Sea, who felled Jericho's walls, who raised the sun from the tomb, now rests his hand upon your shoulder. Do not tremble, stand. For faith that rises from ruin is faith that wins. The banner of the Lord unfurls on the wind. Jehovah Nissi, the Lord our victory, flies above the battlefield of your soul. The trumpet does not sound to terrify, but to summon. And the armies of heaven ride, clothed in white, upon horses of fire. They descend not for ruin, but for restoration. And you, yes, you, are called to ride among them, shield on arm, sword of the Spirit blazing in hand. Faith that answers the trumpet is faith that wins the war. Remember Ezekiel's valley. Bones rose to life. Remember Gethsemane, anguish bent to obedience. Remember the tomb, stone rolled away, death undone. These are not fables. They are the path laid beneath your feet. Loss is not your grave. It is your proving ground. Faith that remembers is faith that wins. So hear now the call. Do not falter when the night returns. Do not yield when chains rattle in memory. Do not bow when Babylon flaunts its gold. Stand. Stand as watchman on the wall, trumpet in hand. Stand as servant, lamp trimmed and burning. Stand as warrior anointed by fire, consecrated for battle. Stand as son returned, robe on shoulder, ring on hand. Stand as vessel remade, cracks sealed by the potter's grace. Faith that stands is faith that wins, for the promise is sure. The Lord restores, the Lord multiplies, the Lord gives back double. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 12. And when the final trumpet sounds, when Zion's gates swing wide, when the roll is called before the throne of the Ancient of Days, you will not be counted among the broken, nor the fallen, nor the forgotten. You will be numbered among the faithful, crowned, armored, whole. So rise, lift the sword, fix your eyes upon the hill where salvation was won. The cross still stands, the tomb is still empty, the covenant is still sealed. Faith that wins is faith that endures to the end.